Do you think
All right.
Marty would call that his job? Like, oh, I'm going to work. Or he would say, I'm going to
No, because
docks.
he probably said he's going to docks, but I don't know if he ever told his parents or his family, or if they would care.
That he works with Doc Brown? You don't think
We
they
don't know.
know?
He doesn't work for Doc.
He basically does.
All from
He
what
helps
we
him with
know,
his experiments.
from what we know.
Wait, this is unpaid
from the
labor?
film,
Unpaid
yeah,
child labor?
from what we know from the films, all that Marty associates with Doc is that he comes by, maybe feeds Einstein, but also probably not because there's a whole Rube Goldberg machine to do that.
Yeah.
Uses Doc's giant guitar amp, and then Doc calls him and says, "Hey Marty, can you come videotape me at the mall?"
Yeah. Wait, so you don't think that any of this implies that he's been doing this for longer than the first day of Back to
I
the
don't
Future?
think so. I don't
What?
think
You think this is the
because
first-
Marty
he
is
goes
completely
into his house. He just comes
Yeah,
and he's like, hey, Doc,
yeah.
how you fucking doing? What's going on here?
Yeah, but here's my thing about that though. Marty seems completely unfamiliar with these scientific projects that Doc is
No,
working on.
I agree with that. I'm not saying that
Yeah.
Marty's the fucking brightest fly in Hill Valley. But
what possibly would Doc need his help with?
no, but I've always assumed he's been his assistant for years.
No, I just think they're friends.
How?
And that he comes because he has the giant amp.
Okay, so clearly he's been over there to use that before. Clearly,
Yes.
he's
no
familiar
wait, because
with-
at the beginning of the movie, Doc says, "Hey, the amp's a little touchy." So I don't know if he has used it before, or at least when he has, Doc has been there.
I would agree with that, but it
Yeah.
also means that he was there and he knew that he had an amp that he could use. So he's been there.
But
before.
don't you think
he
Doc
knows
would
Einstein.
tell him about that he was building a time machine?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But also,
Anyway, let's talk about-
also how Marty definitely knows that Doc does crazy science shit. Obviously.
That's true. That's true. He does.
And he's not like, oh, whoa, this is cool, an opportunity to help out. He's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna like ride down and film in the middle of the night. Like it's a normal thing. He's not like,
Yeah, that's true. He doesn't really flinch at the fact that
No,
Doc told him,
this is a
"Hey, to
normal thing.
come meet me at 1 a.m. at the mall." He's like, "Okay, sure."
Yeah, no, it's a totally normal thing. I think he's been his assistant.
You think
for,
he video?
for a while?
Yeah, what he like videotapes the
Or
experiments? I
whatever,
guess
or-
that's
or
like his
does
job.
Whatever Doc asks him to do, but
Well,
Doc,
surely he doesn't do whatever Doc asked him to do.
no.
I sure to God hope not.
But even like this is a plan.
That's a good point. Tucker, you bring up a good point. Yeah, I did not consider the fact that because he rocks up there and Doc just sort of like hands him the video camera and Marty's ready to go. So
And he
I
knows
think
how
that's
to
a good
use
point.
the video camera and everything.
It's true. I think it's a good point that he probably just videotapes Doc's experiments for him.
Yeah. I'd say at the bare minimum that at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he helps out with any of the construction or anything like that.
No, probably not. But I mean,
No.
it can be unskilled labor because also Doc Brown is creating fucking like horseshit nonsense. It's not like he needs to know fucking astrophysics for half the shit.
That's a good point.
Yeah, half the
And I
shit
think
he
that
makes
would
is
that would
like,
support the fact that
bottle that makes
that-
your eyeballs big or whatever the fuck.
that would support my theory that Marty isn't there all the time. He's largely just there to use the amp A, and then Doc's like, "Hey, if you come videotape my experiments,
Sure.
basically whenever I call you up, just come
But
over."
That's the
Yeah.
exact opposite of what you said earlier, where you assumed that he hadn't used the amp before because the
Oh,
amp was
yeah.
touchy.
I said that he had used the amp, just that Doc had been there for
Now
it.
here's the question.
You know?
Here's the question.
Yeah.
What did Doc do with the amp that made it be turned up all the way? Because clearly, if it's
he's
a
fiddling with
usual,
it.
if it's a usual thing that Marty comes over and uses the amp, but he's supervised, he's not blowing it out like he did that one time.
Right.
Clearly, Doc did something between the last time Marty used the amp when it was normal,
Yeah.
and he turned it up all the way. What was he testing?
I think Doc uses that to attract the local youths to help him with his experiments.
Wait, so you think he's got like a whole? It's like he's like Galactus in the Silver Surfer. Like he has a bunch of.
No, maybe he's just looking for
got a
for
lot of
one big
heralds.
fish. He's just looking for one fish. Is all Doc's looking for.
One fly. He's fly
Well,
fishing. He's
fly.
McFly fishing. Tanner.
There we go. All right, folks. We landed it. The plane has landed. We can start our reviews for Kung Fu Panda 4 and Imaginary.
When we
This
got
has
to
been a-
McFly fishing.
This has been a mini discussion on the relationship between Marty McFly and Dr. Emmett Brown from the Back to the Future series. We ended it on a good pun. Let's get started.